If you could only choose to raise one animal species and grow exactly 3 food crops to sustain a family of 4, what would your choice be? Personally, I would choose to raise 2 chickens and plant 3 types of crops: sweet potatoes, corn, and legumes. After just 1 year, I have already harvested up to 30 chickens and 200 kilograms of fresh organic produce. If your choice aligns with mine, watch this video until the end to learn how to start correctly, avoid mistakes, and quickly establish a stable food source for your entire family. Every week, I share grounded insights on organic gardening and intentional living. Hit subscribe to ensure you're getting authentic, earth-first advice you can actually trust straight to your feed. If you were in that position, what kind of chicken breed would you choose? Most of us would not hesitate to immediately pick 2 high-yield laying hens to achieve a figure of 500 to 600 eggs per year. However, is that truly a sustainable move? In reality, this is a linear consumption model with an endpoint of waste. After about 2 years of intensive exploitation, the hens begin to age, egg productivity drops sharply, and the meat quality is no longer savory. At this point, you are forced to slaughter the old chickens and pay out of pocket to purchase a new batch of breeding stock. This cycle repeats itself, keeping you in a passive position and completely dependent on external supplies, not to mention the risk of disease when introducing a new flock. Instead of chasing immediate egg quantity, choose a matching pair of 1 rooster and 1 hen. The presence of a rooster is not merely to complete the formation, but is a prerequisite to ensure fertile eggs, transforming eggs from food into biological photocopiers. This is the key to ensuring you never have to spend a single penny on buying breeding stock in the future. You need to own a hen with skillful maternal instincts. A skillful hen is usually identified by characteristics such as a calm temperament, less panic when people approach the nest, and persistent nesting time. Instead of using electricity-consuming and high-tech incubators, let the mother hen regulate the temperature and humidity with her own body. This is the most natural method to help chicks gain superior resistance from the moment they hatch. If the correct techniques are applied, a hen can hatch 3 to 4 broods a year, with each brood maintaining 10 to 12 healthy chicks. Doing a simple calculation after just the first 6 months from the 2 original individuals, you can own a replacement flock of up to several dozen birds. As these chicks mature, they will create a continuous supply of meat and eggs through a rolling production method. You will shift from the status of a buyer to a producer with 0 breeding costs. A novel idea that breeders often overlook is the spiritual value and security that a rooster provides. The rooster acts as a devoted foreman. He always prioritizes searching for food and clucking to call the hens to eat before his own turn. This protection helps the hens reduce stress, thereby improving egg quality and the fertilization rate. More importantly, the rooster is a bodyguard with an extremely sharp ability to detect natural enemies, such as rats, snakes, or hawks. Timely alarm calls from the rooster not only protect the lives of the entire flock, but also allow the hens to feel secure in performing their natural duty of maintaining the lineage in the most sustainable way. With chicken providing protein, where will the vegetables for humans and feed for the chickens come from? In a self-sufficient ecosystem, the choice of crops goes beyond yield. It lies in their symbiotic potential and the ability to utilize every part of the plant to sustain both humans and livestock. The first 3 types of plants to be grown are sweet potatoes, corn, and legumes. Sweet potatoes serve as the foundation for sustainable calories and fiber due to their adaptability and comprehensive utility. For self-sufficiency, you need to maintain about 200 to 300 staggered sweet potato plants. This quantity allows your family to harvest greens daily and have enough tubers stored for the winter months. For humans, sweet potato tubers are a healthy source of complex carbohydrates, partially replacing rice in the daily menu, while the leaves are a vitamin-rich green vegetable easily gathered from the garden. For the flock, chopped stems and leaves become an abundant source of green fodder, which not only improves the animal's digestive systems, but also provides natural pigments that give egg yolks an attractive deep orange color and superior quality. The flexibility in preservation is also a major advantage, as leaves can be harvested continuously in summer, while tubers can be stored in dry sand during winter to maintain food reserves for harsh days. Following that energy source, corn stands as the primary energy storehouse for both the family and the farm, thanks to its long-term dry storage capability. To provide enough starch for humans and chickens, you should plant about 400 to 500 corn stalks per year, divided into 2-3 staggered crops. For humans, corn brings variety to the diet through rustic dishes like boiled corn and corn milk to cornmeal used for baking. In animal husbandry, ground dry corn kernels account for 60–70% of the ration, playing a decisive role in helping chickens develop firm meat, maintain body temperature, and have enough energy for daily movement. Even parts that seem like waste, such as corn cobs, are fully utilized as bedding substrate or for organic composting, while fresh green corn stalks are an excellent treat to supplement water and fiber for the flock right in the garden. The final piece completing this nutritional cycle is legumes, typically soybeans or peanuts, which are essential sources of plant protein. You need to maintain a planting area of about 150 to 200 legume hills interspersed throughout the garden. This is the golden group of plants in living soil techniques due to their ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen through root nodules, enriching soil fertility without the need for chemical fertilizers. Humans can harvest beans to make tofu and soy milk or press them for oil, ensuring a source of clean fats and protein. For the chickens, bean dregs after processing or shriveled and pest-damaged seeds are important protein supplements that help them grow quickly and maintain a steady egg-laying rate. However, for a garden to truly become a home in every sense of the word, besides these 3 main staple crops, herbs and aromatic plants are indispensable. These plants do not even require an investment in seeds. You can simply ask a neighbor for a stalk of lemongrass, a few sprigs of basil, or just set aside some ginger and garlic from the kitchen to plant. They not only serve family meals but also act as natural medicines for the flock, helping to boost resistance and repel insects. The core key to maintaining this system for 365 days is the technique of smart intercropping and staggered planting. By planting beans directly under the corn stalks, the gardener not only maximizes surface area, but also creates a vegetative mulch that helps retain soil moisture and protects indigenous microorganisms. With a total of nearly 1,000 individual plants, you will ensure that the garden always has plants in growth, plants being harvested, and plants in the storage phase. The crucial point lies in the layout. When the chicken coop is placed directly within or adjacent to the garden in a mobile form, every move is a time the flock prepares the soil, clears residues, and fertilizes on the spot. You do not need to do more, you only need to design it correctly so the system operates itself. So specifically, how much are the input costs for this system? The answer might surprise you. You need less than $35 to jumpstart this entire cycle of life. Within that, approximately $15 is prioritized for a pair of healthy, mature local chickens, serving as biological photocopiers to ensure long-term genetic succession. Next, with just $10, you can green your garden plot with 300 sweet potato cuttings to serve as a sustainable caloric foundation. Add another $5 for 500 corn seeds as an energy reservoir, and a mere $2 in change to own 200 bean seed pockets to enrich the protein levels for both the soil and humans. Compared to the burning weekly grocery expenses for a family of 4 in the city, this is an extremely minuscule figure, yet it yields a massive surplus value. Because after only the first 6 months of persistent care, you will officially enter the era of seed and breed freedom and organic fertilizer autonomy, beginning a self-sufficiency journey with maintenance costs that are virtually zero. However, if you do not have sufficient funds immediately or are facing the problem of limited space, this philosophy still offers flexible variations to ensure effectiveness. For those with a tight budget, instead of purchasing mature chickens, you can start by buying 10 fertilized eggs and asking a neighbor's hen to brood them, or buy a few kilograms of sweet potato tubers to eat and keep the sprouts for asexual propagation, maximizing initial capital savings. For urban dwellers with only a balcony or rooftop, you do not need 1,000 plants. Instead, you can scale down into styrofoam boxes using a vertical farming model, planting corn as pillars for climbing beans, with the base covered by sweet potatoes for leaf harvesting. When space does not allow for enough corn production for the chickens, give absolute priority to sweet potatoes. For leaves to provide vitamins and beans to provide concentrated protein, optimizing nutrition for every square meter of land. Ultimately, the most important thing is not how much land or money you have, but how you operate your mindset to transform available resources into a sustainable food cycle for your own family. Your stomach is full, but what about your wallet? How can this garden not only sustain but also enrich your family? Instead of merely consuming what you produce, you should exploit the surplus value from your production process to generate cash flow and mutually beneficial exchange relationships. The first priority is fertilizer. You should produce fertilizer using the Jadam and Korean natural farming (KNF) methods. Input resources are fully utilized from livestock waste and crop byproducts. Specifically, nitrogen-rich chicken manure is skillfully mixed with garden plant residues in a balanced ratio, then activated with indigenous microorganisms collected from the very land you are cultivating. The process of thermophilic composting and fermentation not only eradicates pathogens, but also transforms what seems like waste into black gold for the soil. These bags of decomposed, nutrient-rich, and safe organic fertilizer become the perfect commercial product to supply the niche market of ornamental plant enthusiasts or urban balcony gardeners in nearby cities, where sources of clean quality fertilizer are always in short supply. I have provided a comprehensive guide on the KNF method in the video below. Please save it to watch later if you haven't already. Parallel to the fertilizer segment, the service of supplying hatching eggs and chicks creates a significant profit margin thanks to the presence of roosters in the flock. Unlike regular commercial eggs used only for food, fertilized eggs are considered the starting point of a new life cycle. Therefore, their market price is typically 2 to 3 times higher. Investing in a small incubator or leveraging the natural brooding instincts of hens will help you proactively create a source of high-quality chicks to sell to neighboring households looking to start farming, thereby establishing a stable value chain without incurring excessive variable costs. The most unique aspect of this model lies in the bartering tactic and the power of community. Within a neighborhood economic network, the value of food is no longer confined by the figures on banknotes. A tray of clean eggs can become a strong currency to exchange for exotic seed packets or specialty fruits that your own garden lacks. This cashless exchange method not only diversifies and enriches your family's daily menu with meat, fish, and vegetables from various sources, but also builds a cohesive community. This connection creates a sustainable social safety net where households rely on one another to reduce spending pressure while increasing spiritual value and collective prosperity from local products. So specifically, what will we do throughout the 12 months to maintain this cycle in a small garden? When the spring drizzles begin to warm the earth, it is the golden time to carry out seedling work. Sowing sturdy corn seeds and various types of beans inside small soil pots helps protect the plants from late-season frosts before they officially take root in the garden. Simultaneously, the chickens also begin their first brood of the year. Ensuring a warm nest of eggs for the mother hen at this time is a top priority to prepare for a healthy generation of poultry growing up in time with the green grass season. Stepping into summer as the sunlight becomes intense and days grow longer than nights, the work shifts to meticulous care and green harvesting. This is when the sweet potato beds grow most vigorously, providing abundant green vegetables for both the family and the growing flock of chickens. The young chicks need to be shielded from the sweltering heat and provided with fresh nutritional sources from the garden to strengthen their resistance. As the weather transitions into autumn, the pace of work becomes more urgent, because this is the main harvest to confront the upcoming winter. Golden ears of corn are dried on racks and large, round tubers are placed into sand cellars, marking the fruits of many months of labor. Finally, winter brings a slower and quieter rhythm beneath the layer of frost. While all living things enter a state of rest, humans enjoy the bounty from the warm food reserves. This is not a time to stop, but rather a time for the chickens to recuperate and recover their physical condition. At this point, adding extra straw and litter to the coops not only helps warm the chickens, but also silently prepares a humus-rich fertilizer source for the soil. Everything is ready to jumpstart a new self-sufficient cycle as soon as the first green buds of spring awaken. That is the theory. but operational reality is always accompanied by difficult challenges. When the weather falls into extreme states such as prolonged cold spells or severe droughts, both crops and poultry flocks must endure heavy biological pressures. The bone-chilling cold not only causes foliage burn and stunts plant growth, but also makes the chickens lose heat easily, leading to weakened resistance and respiratory diseases. Meanwhile, extended heat waves deplete soil water resources, causing plants to wither, while simultaneously inducing heat stroke in poultry. This is a costly lesson regarding the harshness of nature. You must learn to observe and forecast to implement timely environmental adjustments for both of these subjects. To maintain a clean and sustainable ecosystem, the application of herbal remedies as a substitute for chemicals and antibiotics has become a vital key to protecting the health of both plants and animals. Instead of using synthetic pesticides or antibiotics, the combination of garlic, ginger, and chili brings about an impressively dual efficiency. When mixed into feed or drinking water, these herbs help the chickens warm their bodies, strengthen their immune systems, and naturally eliminate intestinal bacteria. Simultaneously, the extract solution derived from them serves as a potent biological plant protection agent, helping to repel pests and prevent fungal diseases in crops without causing environmental toxicity. Finally, establishing an integrated contingency plan is absolutely essential to cope with unexpected incidents that may occur at any link in the model. When one of the chickens or a key group of plants encounters a problem such as disease or an accident, you need an immediate isolation and on-site treatment plan to avoid widespread transmission. Maintaining a small nursery alongside a buffer coop facilitates the rapid replacement of lost individuals, ensuring that the growth cycle of the entire system is not interrupted. As you can see, food autonomy does not have to be something overly grand or expensive. With just a $35 starting investment and the right ecological mindset, you can transform 2 breeding chickens into a sustainable poultry flock and an empty garden into a year-round food pantry. The greatest value lies not only in the economic benefits, but also in the spiritual happiness it brings. There is nothing more wonderful than the image of a family gathering for an end-of-the-day meal, where every ingredient, from the chicken to the green vegetables, is harvested directly from the home garden. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you found the method I presented useful, please share it with those around you. See you in the next video.